Okay. All right. Okay, bye. Okay. 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 Oh, my goodness. Okay. I hope this is I hope the volume is up good, you guys. Make sure the volume's up. Sorry. Just want to make sure the volume's up. Yes, it is. Okay. Huh? Okay. Okay, let me get my theme song up. LUENELL, LUENELL, LUENELL on YouTube. Hi, everybody. Okay, hi, everybody. It's me, LUENELL, the original bad girl of comedy, and welcome to the Hey LUENELL YouTube show here on YouTube. Every week that the Lord will permit, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock in Pacific Standard Time, 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock here where I am in Texas in Central Standard Time, and 6 to 7 on the East Coast. Shout out to the East Coast. Normally, I have people to help me, but as last week and as this week, I am on my own. Turn the music down a little bit. And I'm operating the laptop. I'm doing the music, which is all our music. Okay, we do have on the rights to this music. The music, the theme music, and the music you'll hear in the background are all done by my manager and best friend and part-time engineer, William Hanford Lee Jr., William Lee, Bill Lee, aka at Papa Lee Music on Instagram, and part-time DJ, DJ WL. Okay? And also, the person who helps me run this page is my girl Ladybug, who isn't here with me in Texas, but she is watching from Los Angeles. She's unable to be with me. She's in LA. And then the person who normally helps me here in here in Texas is my nephew Zachary. But Zachary is a star on his own. Okay? And Zachary, before the corona hit, was on his way to New York City to pursue his career in theater, which he majored in fine arts, I believe, in college. And so he has, the world is opening back up, and he has a production that he's in rehearsal for. So he could not be here with me. So once again, live from the bathroom, I'm here all by myself. So I'm running the laptop, running the iPad, running the phone, and taking notes and doing all kinds of stuff all on my own. But you know, that's what us black women have to do. A lot of times we're on our own. Sometimes you men too. And you got to be able to do a little bit of it. Although, all the way up until the moment that I started the show, I was calling Bill. How do I do this? What do I do? And calling Ladybug. And so I got this part. Now, what do I do about here? But I made it. And here I am to talk to you about a whole bunch of things. This isn't going to be the happiest of shows, as I have a lot of stuff that I need to share with you guys. Not good news. But I'll start with the good news first. And normally I start the show with an edible and a beverage. But because I am in Texas for the specific reason of having my knee surgery and doing my recovery physical therapy, that's why I'm in Texas and in my sister's bathroom and not in LA at my house or in LA at our studio, Next Wave DLC. 2 more weeks in the bathroom, people. And then I think I'll be on my way back to Los Angeles. And once I get back to Los Angeles, I have things to do in town, but I'll be preparing to go back on the road, praise the good Lord above. And I will be, the first 3 dates that I have will be in Indianapolis, at Helium in Indianapolis. Doggone it. I don't have my schedule in front of me or I can tell you the dates. At Helium, it's the first week, I think that somebody will write in, maybe William. Yes, William's online, so he'll write the dates right here. Yes, all my lunatics, hello to my lunatics, LUENATIKZ. Lunatics, but spell it any way you want. So people spell my name any way they want to, but I still get the message. So the first place that I'm going to go to do stand-up comedy live and in person, after not having done stand-up comedy live and in person for a year and a month, a year and 2 months by that time, 14 months, will be Helium in Indianapolis, Indiana. And after that, I'm going to go to the good old familiar Atlanta Comedy Theater. That's the 3rd week in June. The Atlanta Comedy Theater in Norcross, Georgia. I'll probably be doing like 5 shows there. And then the last week in June, I will be at Helium in St. Louis. So Indianapolis, Atlanta, St. Louis. Helium, Atlanta Comedy Theater, Helium. That's what it is. And I don't think the tickets are on sale for the last 2 shows I mentioned, but I think the tickets are on sale for Indianapolis. So check it out. And if you want me to come to your city, the way to make it happen is not to write me and say, Linnell, will you come to Roanoke, Virginia? Linnell, will you come to Chicago? Linnell, I don't have no control over none of that. But the clubs have to hire me. So if you want to see me in a club near you, it would behoove you to drive by there and holler at the manager, or when you're there to see somebody else, ask for the manager, or to write them a letter and email, or to call the club and say, hey, you know, we want to see Linnell. We know that she's going back out on the road in June. We want to see her at our club. And that is how you make it happen, because the club is always going to hire who the people want to see. All right? Now, I also want to apologize for my very plain attire that I've had for the last few weeks, because all I brought, this says Grammys though, because when my daughter danced behind Lizzo at the Grammys, she got this shirt. So I wear it quite often, plus it has long sleeves, and my sister keeps it really chilly up in here. Burr, you know, I'm from Southern California, and I like it hot. So, that's why I have on black, and I've had on black, and I'll probably have on black next week, okay? But please forgive me, because as soon as I get back to my clothes, I'll have it all blinged up for you, but I still try to pull this face together, okay? Let me see. Oh, there was something else I wanted to tell you guys. Oh, I normally start the show for the people who have been following from the beginning, which I'm very, very excited about you people who are new coming in, or the people who have um, been watching me for all these months. That they know that I usually start the show off with an edible and with a beverage, but because I'm taking pills, legal pills doled out by my sister, the nurse. I don't even put my hands on them. They go straight from the cup into my mouth. I don't even touch them. Um, the beverage today is water, and the edible is also water. But I urge y'all to grab something to drink or a snack or something like that, or something to smoke, or whatever it is that you like to do, because this show is going to be kind of heavy. Now, for those of you who are new, or for the people who are regulars, I want you to do something for me. I want you to hit the like button. Is it this thumb? This thumb. Hit the like button. And I want you to share it with friends. I know that I have one young man who watches me while he takes dialysis. He says it's really gotten him through. And, people that are taking chemo or whatever like that, share this video with them. Share this. Well, when you get through the context of the show today, I'm sure you'll want to share it with other people and stuff like that. And the thumbs up, share it, like it, subscribe to the channel, which will always remind you when I'm getting ready to host a show. I need to start putting more stuff on YouTube. We used to do these little mini-sodes and stuff like that, but they kind of fell off. Not sure really why, but they did. But we're gonna get them back together again, because everybody's busy doing stuff and trying to get back out in the world, Now, speaking of my knee surgery, you'll be very happy to know that this knee surgery has come along even much better than the last one. The last one, I was kind of traumatized, and I hadn't had surgery for 25 years since I had my C-section and had my baby. And we had a couple of little issues with that one, not with the knee itself, but with some, bleeding and stuff like that. So that went fine, and I'm 5 months out of that one. October, I think, is when I got my left knee done. October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Okay, 6 months I had the left knee done, and I'm 4 weeks out on the right knee. 1 month, and then 1 month of physical therapy, and then I get to go home. Okay, in any event, I'm not in the pain that I was in before. I'm ready to kick some ass and do the damn thing. So I urge anybody out there who needs to take care of themselves to take care of themselves in whatever way you can. If you need to get them teeth fixed, because these masks is hiding a whole world of trouble behind these masks. These masks ain't just keeping the germs in, they keeping the embarrassment factor down too. Because there's a lot of people out there who need to get some dental work, and you need to get it done. I know it costs a lot of money, but there are plans. And the dentist will take the money any way you want to give it to them. If you say you need to give it to them in partial payments, they'll take that. Trust me and believe. But let's get ourselves taken care of, people, because, we know not the minute nor the hour. Now, also, if you care to donate to this show, then maybe I will be able to pay somebody else besides William and Ladybug and my nephew to be like a regular, because I do pay them, Ladybug, she don't come cheap. She does a lot of stuff for me besides this show. She's my assistant. She's my house manager. She takes care of a lot of stuff. And, we're doing what we can financially. But if you care to donate to the show, you can always send a super chat here on the show, and you never have to leave the frame. Or later after the show, you can send a Cash App. And my address on Cash App is $ Hey LUENELL, just like the show. HeyLuenell. Why do you spell it LUENELL? You'd be surprised at the people who spell my name wrong when it's right at the top of the page, but they do. So I just wanted to say, hey Lunell, HeyLuenell, $. Hey Lunell, look, there's a super chat right there from William. Thank you, William. He said, so, see, we just keep recycling the money. He sent it to me, I pay him back. Not that, but you know, he get paid just to me. It's just great, and that's just to inspire y'all to, because I will give you a shout out if I can see your name in the time that the messages are scrolling. And so you can do Cash App, you can do Super Chat, Cash App, $ Hey Lunell, or you can also do PayPal if that's your preference. And that is store@heylunell.com. Store@heylunell.com. William will put them in the chat, I do believe. Okay, so the good news first. The good news is that I have another, I want to thank everybody for watching Coming to America. It's been, you know, doing great numbers on Amazon Prime, and that's always good for us, okay? So keep watching that, sharing that with your friends, and like I said before, it was a really amazing adventure, and I just couldn't be more happy and pleased that I got a chance to do it. But now, moving on, because you know, I don't sit still. I've always got something in the can. Jamie Foxx's new show, Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me, which is on Netflix, has dropped already. And David Alan Grier is on the show, playing Jamie Foxx's father, which puts two in living color icons back together again, Jamie and David Alan Grier. So, I am in the first episode. I'm the first person you see on his first season. It's on Netflix, like I said. Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me on Netflix. It premiered yesterday. Some people saw it because I didn't even remember that I mean, I knew I did it, but I definitely didn't think I'd be in the first episode. But people text me and let me know. So I'm just letting you know, too. It's a family show, and it's lots of fun. And it's that good old cornball humor that Jamie is so good at. So Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me on Netflix anytime you want to pull it on up, okay? Then, so that's the second good thing. And then, let me see, I'm trying to look down here a little bit. So, oh, that's the other thing. Now, I have a difficult time without my engineer keeping up with the comments that are being sent right now. I look at every time if I look down, I'm looking on my iPad. I'm looking on my iPad to watch the show and try to see a few comments. But it's difficult to do that, control the volume and all this at the same time. So if I look down, I'm trying to see a few comments, but I will miss a lot of them. So I just wanted to ask you guys to, if something really on your mind, oh, super chat from Lisa. Hello, Lisa. That's right. Thank you so much. It's my publicist. So I urge you to, if you make comments while the show is going on and there's really something you want to tell me or share with me, when it goes off, write the comment, you know, go to the show and go to the comment section and write the comment again, okay? Again. So it's been a very difficult time right now due to the fact that the David Chauvin trial, the Derrick Chauvin trial is going on. People call it the George Floyd trial, but of course George is not on trial. Derrick Chauvin is on trial. I have not been able to watch the show. I've been not able to watch the trial because you can call me weak or whatever like that, but the first day that the trial started, thank you so much, in Denise Mind. Thank you from Oakland. Thank you, Denise. Thank you. She sent a super chat, honey. And it does not matter the amount. I'll let you know that right now. There is no one no better than the other. It all goes in the same kitty, and it's all greatly appreciated. So the Derrick Chauvin trial that is going on right now has been very difficult for me to watch, and a lot of people that I have talked to, because it just re-traumatizes us all again. The effed up part is that the family can't turn the channel and not watch. They have to be there. Hey DJ, hey DJ, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I need the love. Boy, you don't know. Um, the trial is just very depressing, and the first day of the trial, they were showing the video again. And unless you like to see people murdered over and over again, I found myself not able to watch it. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. It would put me in a mood, and I'm in a house with other people. I'm not at home to like pout and brood by myself. I can't take it. So, thank you, Knowledge Born Allah. Hello, darling. You would have to follow me around the country, baby. And I can't do that yet, but we'll talk about that. And Gwen, thank you, Gwen Winfrey. Thank you so much. I'm gonna try to catch everybody because yours is in color and I can see. So the trial is getting dirty. The trial is getting, just beyond visibility for me. I can't do it, but luckily my husband fills me in on all the gritty commentary, and I catch clips. Not only are we having to go through the trial or having to deal with knowing that the trial is going on with eager anticipation, because, a lot of times these trials do not turn out the way that we want them to or feel they should or that they should, starting way back before Rodney King. Okay, we saw what we saw, and the jury decided we didn't see what we saw, and that those poor cops weren't in the wrong. So that's been going on and on and on and on, and that is our problem. Is we are getting no repercussions for people taking people's lives, namely cops. Which brings us to Kim Porter. Kim Porter, also in Minneapolis. Prince is rolling over in his urn right now. Says she mistakenly shot young Dante Wright with her gun when she thought she had her stun gun, but she did not shoot her gun. I find this hard to believe because the gun weighs a certain amount of weight and the stun gun does not, number one. The gun is in the side of your dominant hand, which if you're right-handed, the gun's on your right hand and the stun gun's on your left. The gun's not on your left hand because they want everybody to wear the guns on the left hand. Thank you so much, Melissa Freeman. Oh, okay, I'll see you in St. Louis. Thank you very much. The gun is in the side of your dominant hand. I'm right-handed, my gun would be here. If you're left-handed, it would be here. But you know which is which. This is just as bad as the young lady who shot old boy up in his own apartment. She has, Kim Potter has resigned. And I told my manager, William, I said, I don't think that I would accept her resignation and I don't think they have to. I think that you can resign and they don't have to accept your resignation, because if they accept your resignation, you will in turn get your pension and all the perks that go with early retirement. But I think that they are deciding whether they're going to accept her resignation because they want to fire her. We shall see how this turns out. I know white women certainly get away with a lot more than a black man does in this country. Yes, thank you, girl from the Bay, 93. Thank you very, very much for your donation. I was able to read your comment as well. So all this has got me in a very messed up mood, which brings me to another subject. And the title of this show is DMX, a social media lesson learned. I'm going to turn the music down for this because I have to explain to you what has happened in my world since hearing that my movie mate and friend DMX had a heart attack. Okay, so I'm going to pause this. I'm sure that most of you viewing know by now that rapper DMX suffered a heart attack about a week ago. The reasons why are not clear. Some people are saying one thing, some people are saying another. Some people are saying the vaccine gave him a heart attack. Some people are saying he relapsed and was smoking dope and had a heart attack from that. Although the sources that I have say that he'd been clean for 6 months. And if you've seen him, he was a little heavier, because if you're not smoking, you're eating. And that he was doing very well and was in very, very high spirits. So, we just don't know what the reason was that he had the heart attack. Now, the reason I call this show a lesson in social media is because of this. So, DMX and I made a movie called Never Die Alone. The beautiful Mike Ely was in that movie. David Arquette is in that movie. Aisha Tyler is in that movie. We made it many years ago. I got to work with DMX, and we took pictures, we drank together, we smoked together. He gave us roses on Mother's Day. He was in very good spirits, very good mood during the filming of that movie, at least when we shot our scenes together. After the movie, later came the rap party, which is an incredible story in itself, because when I first came to Los Angeles, over the months and things and living here and living there, my husband and I ended up staying in the car because we didn't want to be under these people's roof, didn't want to be a burden to these people. So we stayed in the car, and my husband had got a job he's a master electrician. He got a job at the Hollywood Athletic Club. And during the time when he was working, because as you know, you have a job, it takes you 2 weeks to get a check. And we had to save up a few checks before we could get a place. So every day that my husband went to work at the Hollywood Athletic Club, I would be down in the car, sleep or listening to the radio or whatever like this, and say hi to people, bye to people. Nobody ever thought to ask, why are you in this car every day in this parking lot? Like I would have, because I'm nosy. But fast forward to we do the movie. Of course, he gets money. We get a place. We're living in LA. I do the movie. And then when we had the rap party for the movie, the rap party, WRAP, not RAP, we had the rap party for the movie at the Hollywood Athletic Club. So it's funny that the very parking lot that I used to sleep in ended up being the very parking lot that I arrived in a limousine in and went to the rap party for a movie with DMX in. That's ironic. So then after the rap party that night, then DMX was getting ready to go to the studio. And he asked me and my old man want to go. And we said, yeah, we'll go to the studio with you. And I rode with DMX in the car, big mistake. And my husband rode in the car with one of his guys behind us. Anybody who knows DMX well, any of the Rough Riders that know this, what I'm about to say, to be a fact. DMX drives like a bat out of hell. It was one of the most frightening, exciting rides I've ever had in a car in my life. We were going probably 100 miles an hour down Wilshire Boulevard, running lights and all this kind of stuff with the cars, just boys in cars behind us. It was crazy. It was madness. I just knew I was going to die that night, but I did not die that night. We got to the studio. We stayed at the studio with X for many, many hours. We saw him record. I don't even remember what it was because how high I was. And then at about 7 o'clock in the morning, when he decided he was done and he asked us, do we want to go out to breakfast? I was exhausted. I still had on my clothes from the rap party. I was like, no, I can't. We're going to have to, I'm going to have to say goodbye. Then, of course, the movie gets finished and comes out, and I flew myself to New York where the premiere was going to be. And I flew myself to New York, and I got myself a hotel, and I got myself a cab, and I had my aunt's fur coat, and I was looking very New York-ish, and I went to the premiere of Never Die Alone. DMX and I took pictures, and Tashira, his wife at the time, was there, and a couple of his children. I think his son Xavier was in the movie, and he was there. So I have history with DMX. I also have history with Tashira, his ex-wife. When my sister and I went on the Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage cruise maybe 4 years ago, Tashira had hit the wall with everything going on as well and decided to take herself on the Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage cruise by herself. And as it were, Tashira and I linked up. Of course, she knew who I was because she knew I had done the movie and we had met at the premiere. So for the rest of the cruise, my sister, my witness, my sister, myself, and Tashira hung out and were on the cruise and went on the island and everything like this together. So I have history with DMX. When when I heard that he had a heart attack, you know, I was as concerned as anybody. I was hurt and I was praying just along with everybody else. Here's where the situation starts to take an ugly turn. So, um, I had a source, okay, that I can't say from where or anything like that. Definitely East Coast. Okay. Okay. You need that? No. I dropped it. I had a source who informed me that X had no brain activity because I believe that they said that they had, when by the time he was found, or by the time paramedics had got to him, they had worked on him for an extensive amount of time to revive him. They took him to the hospital. I was told that X had no brain activity and that his vitals were failing rapidly. He was on life support. Now, today is Wednesday, so I guess this was probably Monday when I was talking to this person. Sunday, maybe even Saturday. I can't remember. But then later in the evening, I was told that he had passed away. Now, there's the passing away that's the technical jargon, or there's passing away also you can think of a person has passed away if they have no brain activity and they're never going to. When people say, well, I'm praying for him, I'm praying for him, I'm praying for him, I'm praying for him. Well, what is the prayer? Is the prayer that they will recover and come back and be the same person that you knew and loved? Or is the prayer that if they are to transition, if that is God's will, that it be painless, that it be, just as least traumatic for everybody, and you're praying for the family too. I know from the many deaths that I have experienced, and I have experienced many, that no brain activity means no brain activity. And that if you're praying, you need to be praying for the family and for everybody that's left with the sorrow. So when I was told that X had passed, I went to my Insta story, not my Instagram page. If people who know Instagram know the difference. I went to my Insta story and I posted a very touching, you're with the greats now and no more pain, in this post, and said, rest in peace, DMX. Now, for some reason, I didn't put it on my page, and maybe that's because I had like a little thought in my mind. Well, after I did that, which was false information, by the way. I mean, if you're going to talk about the technical, term of death, it was false, and I made a false statement, and everybody ran with it. Like, my publicist called me and said, have you seen Twitter? Well, I don't have Twitter. I got hacked in my Twitter years ago, and ironically enough, the person that hacked me on my Twitter, the people who hacked me on my Twitter, their friends were fans of mine. And so the friend told me who it was, sent me, they said that they hack people all the time. They sent me their information, their IG and everything. And I took all that information and gave it to Twitter because I'm verified. I was verified then. I'm verified on Instagram. And I gave it to Twitter. I said, these guys hacked me. Here is the info. And Twitter never did anything for me to get my Twitter back. So if you're talking to me on Twitter, you're talking to somebody else using my name. I haven't been on Twitter in years. So my publicist said, have you seen Twitter? And I'm like, no. She said, well, you're trending on Twitter. You're all over Twitter. But because you said that DMX is dead. And I said, well, I'm not reading it because I don't have it. So, what's going on? And then I went to my Instagram and I had all these direct messages in that's what DM stands for. I had all these direct messages, like lots and lots of them. And this is the crux of what all the direct messages were saying. They were saying things like, fuck you, you clout chasing asshole. Saying DMX died just because you feel it is a lost cause, fuck your old ass. Last time you were relevant was with Cat Williams' ass. How the fuck could you say that shit about a damn hip-hop icon without the proper proof? Fuck out of here, clout chasing ass bitch. So I had my DMs were full of those. And so, of course, I wasn't hurt, but I was shook because nobody wants to have a barrage of hate coming at them like that. And when I found out that, it had not really been publicly announced, I knew where their hate was coming from. However, the people who speak, the people who are grown and the people who are not, just by the vernacular of their vocabulary. And I knew that the people that were sending this barrage of hate my way, and rightfully so in their mind, were people that I do not associate with. I don't know them, and they're young. And who did not even know that, we had an association. They didn't know me and DMX. I would never do anything to intentionally bring hate upon or hurt upon him, his family, or his legacy. So what I did all night long was every time I went to my IG, I just put delete all, delete all, delete all. I went to bed. I woke up. I went to the bathroom. I grabbed the phone when I came back. Delete all, because I probably got 500 of those hate-filled messages. And like I said, for the people who wrote them, they were writing them out of, really it was out of love. It wasn't out of direct hate for me. It was that they didn't want to face it, number one. They didn't want to believe it. And they certainly didn't want to get the word from me. They wanted to hear the word from the news and stuff like that. And people were like, you should have more respect for the family. And that's true. However, I know when my father got murdered, when my sister got murdered, when my, other people in my family have died, friends have died. At that point, I don't think anybody was checking my Instagram to see what I had written, but it went viral, as they say, to the Shade Room and to other outlets and major ones. So I took the post down, even though the Insta stories only last 24 hours anyway, and they come down on their own. But I took the post down. But I put up another post, and that's when I clarified that if you are brain dead and if your organs are failing you, your body becomes nothing but a shell. And that the brother that we know and love is gone, And yes, the Lord can do anything, and the Lord can bring people back from near death and all that kind of stuff. That wasn't the case this time. So I took that post down and I put up another post that read what I just said, and sorry to all. That's the last 3 words I said. Sorry to all. So people were calling me, and my publicist was freaking out. And she's like, "Well, I think you should make a statement. I think you should make a statement saying," and I said, "Absolutely not." And the reason that I didn't want to make this statement was because, I didn't want to keep, I had already fanned the fire. I didn't want to keep throwing coal in this fire. I said, I'm not going to make a statement. Plus, I have never seen in my history of having social media, I have never seen a social media apology that was accepted. I've never seen anybody apologize for anything on social media and people go, okay, we understand. I've never seen that happen. Now, there was a few people, that was on my side because they know me. They were like, LUENELL, we knew what you meant, and we know that you're not messy like that and that you don't do things like that. And that's true. But what I should have done, this is my social media lesson learned, is I guess I should have not taken the info that was given to me as fact. And I should have maybe Googled it or whatever like that. I should have hesitated and not, because my reason for making the post in the first place was that was my way of mourning with everybody else. I was like, oh no, you're with the Kings now, and God rest your soul, and R.I.P. Thank you. Not yet. Wait a minute. Thank you, ma'am. Just one moment. Oh, yes, Naja. Thank you, dear. Thank you so much. Um, when I made that post, I was like, oh my God, just like everybody else. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then that was too early. I had jumped the gun, so to speak. So when I told my publicist I was not going to make any kind of statement, that I was going to let that be. I was going to leave it alone. And I just continued through the night to delete all. And these messages that were coming at me were vile. I'm happy to say to the people who wrote the terrible messages to me, who may be watching or who may write some more, is that what you wanted to happen to me did not happen. It did not affect me in the way you wanted it to because I didn't read it. Like they have things where parents will say, my child is being cyberbullied. Well, you can't be cyberbullied if you don't read it. Of course, the urge to read it is great. And if somebody's made a threat to you, you need to be on that, especially if it happens to a child. But I just simply didn't read. I mean, you can look if you go to your direct message, you can see if the first word starts with fuck or bitch or ho or something like that, then they're not giving you a greeting, a warm salutation. So I just would delete all through the night. Then, lo and behold, the very next morning, I guess I must have been Sunday, the very next morning, on Monday morning, 2 days ago, they announced publicly that DMX, in fact, had passed away. Some people said 17 minutes ago. And no, he really passed away right there at his home when the brain was deprived of oxygen and he stopped being able to breathe on his own. So that was when the condolences should have been made, after the public announcement. And that was my mistake, but I was given wrong information and I call myself mourning with everybody else because I figured if it was told to me, it must be out there in the world. So just for right now, just to go on the record, I am egregiously apologetic and sorry for what I did. And I feel like the only people that I owe any apology to is the family. All of his beautiful, wonderful children, their mothers, and his ex-wife Tashira, and any relative that may have read anything, I'm deeply, deeply apologetic. I will never let that happen again. But here's the crazy thing. Monday, after it was made public by the media, all those terrible messages stopped just like that. Like somebody had flipped a switch and it went back to, oh, LUENELL, you were so funny in coming to America. And, oh, you're looking good with your weight loss. And LUENELL, I need my knees done too. You're such a inspiration. It's like somebody flipped a switch. So when I say a social media lesson learned, and the media lesson that I learned is that the people who berate you, if you are a fat person and people are calling you names, if you're a black person and people are calling you names on social media, never to your face. And if you are any kind of person, if you're handicapped, if you're bald, if you're anything like that, and you are being berated, those people don't count. Because also, before I started deleting all, I checked on a couple of the people and I went on their page. And these were people who had like 0 posts that were following maybe 100 people, or they had maybe 7 posts and they were following maybe 3 people. These were not people like the ones I'm talking to here on YouTube and the people that are on my Facebook, which usually deals with grown people and relatives, or the people even who are on my normal page. These people were on my Insta story, remember, not on my page. I never put it on my page, and I haven't wrote anything now because I would feel that, to write something now would just be, what's the point? So I just once again want to let you guys in on what I went through the last couple of days and how it affected me, but it didn't, because the people who hate on you on social media do not matter. Okay? The people that matter in your life are your real people that will talk to you in your face. Your relatives, your friends. Thank you, Patricia Gilmore. You're a Gilmore girl. Thank you. The people who you can touch, the people who you can call, the people who put you in your place that are your relatives or whatever, the people that you can talk to face. Those are the people that matter. The people you do not know and who do not know you or your character or anything like that, they just don't matter. Now, that's kind of hypocritical because the people who you don't know to say good things about you do matter. But if you get what I'm saying, when you're just getting a barrage of hate, 99% of those people don't matter. So you just have to use social media for what it's worth, and don't base your worth, don't base your merit, don't base your credentials on the people on social media that do not know you and that you do not know. That is my lesson for the day. I hope I have clarified that. And I haven't heard anything about any services or any cremations or anything like that. Now, what I will say on a TMZ sort of note is that now the shit show starts. X will live on as a legend in our minds. Uh, we can always, he will live on forever. You can pull up so much footage of his concerts and so much footage of him alive and happy. And one of the best videos I've seen was the day that he met Rakim from Eric B and Rakim from, and he was so excited and he was so happy and they both were happy, and X was really, really happy to meet him, and I loved that video and the pictures and video of him with his children. X had been a very, very hurt man for a very, very long time because he lacked a mother's love. Mother's love or the lack thereof can tear you apart for the rest of your life. I ought to know. He was very, uh, he was a wonderful poet. He was a wonderful rapper, but he was more than that. You know, he like they say, he didn't care. Hi, M. Colette. Thank you so much. The people who knew him and knew him well knew that he was, yes, M. Colette Tucker. Thank you so much. The people who knew him and knew him well knew that he was not into the jewelry. He was not out buying a lot of fancy cars and parading around at the parties. He was not about that. He really was a very quiet and humble guy. And he was always a rider for the people. He was a rough rider for the people. And that was one of his trouble spots. And that was also the thing that, you know, I've done dope. I've smoked cocaine. I know all about it. Can't nobody tell me about it. I don't want to read a book about it. I know all about this shit. And if you're trying to escape something, if you want to zone out and put blinders on like a racehorse, crack cocaine, it will do it for you. Thank you, V. Frazier, very much, very much. And so that's why I think he even continued to do the drug after after having it introduced to him by someone he admired and looked up to when he was fucking 14. And if you ever heard him speak about that, he could hardly get the words out. That's how hurt he was. He said, why would you do that to a child? It ruined his life. Whitney's brother turned her on to dope. So it's not really the strangers out in the street. It's the people that's near you that will fuck you up because they can get to you. So I think that the reason that he even continued to do it was just to numb the noise, numb the pain. And he wrote some of the greatest lyrics. You know, now I've gone from, we've gone from Nipsey, now we've gone to DMX, and it seems like the greats don't live forever. You know, they don't live long. People have used the word legend to describe me sometimes, but this legend wants to be all up in them 80s. This legend wants to be like Marla Gibbs, who, by the way, is about to finally get her start on the Hollywood Walk of Fame after being denied by Hollywood Walk of Fame when the subject was first brought to them about her. I hope to be there for that ceremony. But I want to be like Marla. I want to be like Betty White. I want to be like James Earl Jones, who was in Coming to America with us. I want to live, and I want to live a long life. I want to be a grandparent. Y'all can call me auntie, but don't call me grandma, because I'm not a grandmother yet. And maybe that's why I have not burned white hot like some of the people who have, and I wish that I was. You're gonna live this life one way or another. That white light burns hot and burns out quick. So I choose to just go head on and still be LUENELL and, be down for the people and do the best work that I can do and be who I am. I am not out to hurt nobody. I never would do that in a million years. But if you fuck with me, I do know how to defend myself. But sometimes you have to do like my gospel singer Mahalia Jackson said, like my grandmother used to say, peace be still. Sometimes you just have to be still and write it out. And that's what I had to do with my situation with DMX. There was no need to make no statement. There was no need to say another word. There was no need to do anything. But there was a need for me to get this off my chest and to tell people today, the people who do, I believe, care, it was up to me to try to explain what the fuck had happened. I would never in my life try to, people will call me a clout chasing ass bitch. Well, you don't have to chase clout if you already have it. Clearly, I already have clout, or there wouldn't be anybody trying to, be on my page, trying to um, see me, trying to find out what lip gloss I wear or what ointment I use on my leg or where did you have your surgery or what. I've already got clout. I don't have to chase it. I'm going to always have it. But I did not do that for that. I don't need the attention. I'm on television every day. And yet, I don't have a show on TV, although I do hope that one day the Lord will shine his light down on some producer and I can be the next black woman in late night, because that's where I believe I belong. Jump off this YouTube, jump onto late night where y'all can lay and see me just like you do now, just bigger, on a bigger platform. But until that happens, I will continue to do my best to make y'all laugh, to make y'all think, to speak to your heart, to be right here on this little YouTube on my phone. I'll be in the bathroom. I'll be in the yard. I'll be wherever I can get to you at. You understand? And that's what I'm going to do. I want to thank you so much for your super chats or your oncoming cash apps or PayPals. I want to thank you so much for your understanding or lack thereof. Like I said, I haven't been able to read all the comments um, that have gone on during this show, but I will be going back to read and respond to as many as I can, probably tomorrow, because I have 2 more interviews to do after this, and I will not be addressing the subject of what happened in as much depth as I have to y'all. If they ask me, I will explain what happened. If anybody brings that up, I'm hoping that they will not. But if they do, I face my problems head on. I'm not a runner. I don't throw a rock and run. I face my problems head on. And when I'm wrong, I will say that I'm wrong. And when I'm right, I'm going to stand flat-footed, and that's what it is. So once again, thank you guys for watching and listening to my explanation of what a social media faux pas can lead to. And I hope that those of you who are out there who are on social media in a heavy way, because I don't believe that any of the celebrities are watching my show. I think that it's just for you guys. So, this really doesn't apply to you unless you've got, 785,000 Instagram followers. And I don't know how many people follow this, subscribe to this show. 48,000 people are subscribed to this show, and I hope you tell some more people and that they subscribe too. But unless you have numbers like that, then you don't have to worry about a problem like this. You may have to worry about if you said something about somebody in your family and it wasn't supposed to get out, and then the barrage of shit that's going to come from your family. But you won't have to ever feel the devastation of public scrutiny. I hope not. I hope that when I go back out on the road, you will still come and see me. Like I said, the first 3 shows are going to be in Indianapolis, Atlanta, and St. Louis, all in the month of June. I have plenty to say, plenty to say. We're going to pray for the family of Dante Wright, and I hope that that this situation is made right, and no check can ever cover the cost of the life of your child. I hope and pray that if they do not convict Derrick Chaplin of first-degree murder. If they let that cop go, you ain't seeing an insurrection. It's going to be hell in the streets, and I might be out there with them because I got 2 new knees. I might be out there throwing a brick my damn self because we don't have any other way to make people hear us. So, okay, you guys, that's it. I've got some other interviews to do. I will stay on here longer. Maybe at one point I'll be able to do a Q&A, you know, but we're going to try this. When I get back to LA, we're going to see in the studio about maybe installing some phone lines like I used to have on the Soul Beat Television Network when I was in Oakland, and maybe some people can call in. We really are going to see if we can do something like that. But I've got to step my little homemade game up. My daughter, LUENELL, has a new little thing she's doing on YouTube every Friday. No, on her Instagram every Friday, and her Instagram is at it's Daneldo, DANELLEDOEE, and she does Tea with D every Friday now. And this will be like her third Friday, and she tells you places to eat, great places to eat, and stuff like that. And her editing is better than mine. She got a straight up editor that puts video and everything in her little thing. And I'm like, we got to step my game up because I know Bill is very busy with handling my management career and stuff like that. And Ladybug, she's got a whole nother job and a whole nother life. But we've got to find a way to step our game up because I want to be able to put new stuff up here too and get all fancy and glitzy. So far, you've loved me just because it's me. But I really want to step my game up. So let me try to get my theme song ready. So I told you I'm doing this. It's real homemade. That I'm doing this all by myself, and I appreciate you being so. I appreciate you being so patient with me. Oh, here we go. Oh Lord. Wait a minute. I appreciate you being so patient with me and hanging in there while I explained my situation and while I try to get myself together, health-wise and technically wise. So watch Dad Stop Embarrassing Me on Netflix right now, Jamie Foxx's new show. And I want to send a shout out to my people in Long Island, my boys in Brooklyn, the Rough Riders. I want to send a shout out to them because they showed up and showed out like friends should. I want to send a shout out to all my people in Oakland and to my family too. So you guys take it easy, and I thank you for watching. Let me see, try to get this music playing. Okay. Wait. That's not the right thing. Oh well, hell, you know what? I could sing it. Dun 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 dun. LUENELL, original bad girl. LUENELL, original bad girl. LUENELL. Dun 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 dun. LUENELL, original bad girl. LUENELL, original bad girl. LUENELL on YouTube. Thank you, everybody. I love you very much. Goodbye.